I want to talk about my buddy Mick Donato. You're going to probably notice that he's from the New England area. He has a 12-year-old as his producer, who's also on mic quite a bit.
If it's a bit, it's brilliant.
The Mick Donato Show starts now. Hey, folks, how you doing there? Welcome to yet another great episode, right, Danny?
Yes.
Of the Mick Donato Show. Of course, I'm your host, Mick Donato,
and
joined by my partner in crime, Danny.
I'm Danny, the other guy, and I'm here for once instead of in the booth.
Danny gets to be at the big boys table.
Yeah, and I never noticed from back at the booth.
Yeah.
But, like, outside our window, it's really weird how the water is just completely still
It's
all
beautiful.
the time. And, the clouds don't move at all.
Yeah.
Like,
It's a beautiful day every day in Fall River. Even it's February. So it's great, huh?
yeah.
How that works.
Kind of weird.
Right. Plugs on the screen, folks. But of course, how do we start every show, Danny? What do we do?
We thank all the first responders and stuff.
And who are they? Let's go through them.
Fire, hazmat, law enforcement, narcotics.
Keep that fentanyl off the street.
Fentanyl off the street.
Military.
Navy, Army, Marines, Coast Guard.
Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines. Coast Guard, not part of the military unless it's a time of war. But close enough, Danny.
We still thank them.
We still thank them. And of course, all those,
Three-letter agencies.
Yeah, FBI.
FBI, CIA,
ATF. NBA.
ABC, Do-Re-Mi.
TSA. No, of course, God bless all the men and women who keep us safe every day. And by the way, next week, Danny, speaking of ATF, I'll talk about this in the show. We're going to have a guest who's a former ATF agent.
What's an ATF?
Yeah. We'll get to that. Anyways, thank you all. And what we want to do is, of course, this whole month, today is February 29th, right, Danny? Sleep year.
Yeah.
We've been doing a fundraising campaign for the Hope For Holty Foundation. Lieutenant Scott Holt, retired firefighter, medically retired from the state of Mass. And Danny, let's go ahead and bring up the website and see where we are. So can you bring up that website there on the monitor? Look at that, folks.
Wow.
$2,410. Yeah. We're almost there.
$90.
Yeah, we're almost there. And I think after this, which will air Sunday, we're going to blow it away. But yeah, thank you all who have donated to this very important and valuable campaign.
That's
right,
crazy.
Danny?
And like everyone who's donated is a follower so far.
Absolutely.
Or I don't know if that's like just automatic.
So if you haven't yet, go to, you have two options, right, Danny? They can go to mickdonato.com, our website.
And it'll be like right there.
Right on the main page. You just click donate. Done. It's that simple. Or they can go to gofundme.com. It's like GoFundMe/F. Not sure why they put the F in there, but they do. /MDS.
Probably like F
dash Hope.
F for fundraiser.
Yeah, probably. But that's how you do it, folks. So let's just get that number over the goal line this month. What do you say?
I say that sounds like a pretty good idea.
Right, go ahead, take it down, Dave. Take it down. But good to see. Good to see. And I just want to give special thanks to everyone, all my guests who've joined this month. That was Lauren Hansen. Remember her? She came on the first part of the month. She's a web marketing person. We had Dave Landau, who's a big-time stand-up comic.
Big boy. Down
in New York. But, trying to get a broader audience. He was great. Who else do we have, Danny? Dave Gregorio.
You just said Dave Land. Oh.
Yeah, remember him? Yeah, Di Gregorio. He's a big shot up in the state.
We've had a lot of guests.
Runs all the hazmat.
Oh, yeah.
And last week was if you haven't watched last week's show, folks, you should watch all of them. But we had Dr. Christina Baxter, who's very famous, very well known in this community. And she taught us about, remember the Novichucks, all that crap? and the what's the coronavirus. We had Mike Monaco from the Hazmat guy. It's just been a whole month of great guests.
Whole month. Crazy month.
And I do want to give special thanks to my pal, friend of the show, Travis Rebello. Right?
Yeah.
He's been in studio, and he's the one that kind of got us onto this whole thing, started off. So thanks to all who have donated. Thanks to those who helped kick us off. And this is the last show. We're really going to be promoting it, but we're going to keep that fundraiser open because I know folks, once they see these other shows, they want to go into GoFundMe and donate.
Yeah.
Again.
So if anyone right now is watching this in like
if it's like March 2nd,
2021,
yeah,
it's like you can still donate.
Plenty of time. All right. Now, we said last week we weren't going to have a guest. I got to do a quick show. I got to get out of here. I have a wedding out in Provincetown. But I kind of lied. Didn't really lie. I wanted to keep it a secret because we actually have two very special guests joining us today.
Very, very special.
And who is it, Danny? Oh, hit the
I
cough
think
button.
I have a cough. Okay.
Right. Who is it, Danny?
None other than that.
It's none other than Scott Holt.
Scott Holt
Himself, Holty, and his wife, Helen. Go ahead and bring them on, Danny.
Yes, I knew their names.
They're on there. Can't hear them. Can't hear them. Are you there?
We're here.
There they are.
Good morning.
Welcome to the show, Scott and Helen. How you doing?
Very good.
Good.
Thank
How are
very much.
you?
We are great. Thank you so much for joining the show. Really, really appreciate it. You're looking good. And, of course, Helen, I've been in touch with you a lot. Hopefully we've done, a little bit of good to help you out. But just kind of talk about maybe, why it's important that we do these sort of things. Everyone knows the story, but just kind of say what you'd like to say as far as why these sort of things that we've done and others have done help you folks out on a day-to-day basis.
Well, first of all, we wanted to wish Danny a very happy belated birthday. I heard his birthday was
Thank
last
you.
week.
He's 14, yeah.
Yep.
Happy birthday. But also wanted to just reach out and thank you so much for all you've done in setting this up with Travis and Dave D. It's been truly an honor that you kind of reached out and provided this for us. It was an amazing show of support. But yeah, it's been an eye-opening experience for the past 2.5 years, and we continue to learn every day new things about what going through with the spinal cord injury and things like that. We kind of joke around with people that we've met that in similar situations that have been 5 or 10 years into this. You're just a newbie at this, so you've got more learning to go. But yeah, it's been quite an adventure, and like you said, in the past 2.5 years with becoming medically retired and then finding out what that's like, and then having more surgeries and things like that.
Yeah. And so you continue to have to go back to the hospital time to time, right? Have some surgeries. It's sort of an ongoing process, right?
Yeah, I had a surgery in the middle of January on my left hand again. My fingers were retracting back, and that's an involuntary complication from the spinal cord injuries affecting my left side.
Mm-hmm.
So that's been an ongoing issue. We continue to go to Boston several times a week, whether it be doctor's appointments, occupational therapy, physical therapy, always having to kind of move my muscles and joints and things like that to keep freezing up and knotting up.
Yeah.
Finding acupuncture and things like that to trying to open up any kind of resource that's helpful to me.
Yeah. Go ahead, Helen. Yeah.
Sorry. And so, to your point of where you're saying, how important it is in regards to fundraising. Fundraising is something that we did not ever want to do.
Yeah.
B, it's a very humbling experience, a very appreciative experience. We're used to being on the other end of where we love to support others and do for others. And it's very difficult on our end to go ahead and accept that we're the ones that need the help. And it's an ongoing, like I've shared with you before, it's an ongoing process of, neither one of us realized how much items cost because of the fact that when he first got injured, for the first year and a half, we never saw a bill.
Yeah.
We never, we didn't see anything. That all was completely covered under the whole 111F
Sure.
for firefighters.
Right.
When there's an injury that occurs on the job. Once you're medically retired because of that injury, that 111F goes away, and then it's health insurance.
Yeah.
So health insurance only goes ahead and covers so much.
Yeah.
And we weren't aware of that. I don't think that there's a lot of folks that are aware of that, because I think that the premise is, or the assumption is, that if you are a police officer, a firefighter, EMS, first responder, that if you're injured on the job, regardless of whether you have to, retire or not,
right,
that you're going to be completely taken care of. And that's true to a certain extent. And so when he was retired last January, it kind of was an eye-opening experience when we started receiving the bills, and looking at just how much items cost, and looking at how much our portion was of it. And I think, like I shared before, when I've spoken with you before, it was an eye-opening experience of when we went to do our taxes, and you go and you do what you can claim for medical on your taxes, and it was over $24,000 that we had paid out of pocket, which, again, I think the average person doesn't really have that laying around.
Not most people.
To be able to go ahead and do that. So, so the fundraising has helped a lot in that aspect.
And let me just ask you here, and because a larger thing here we've tried to do, not just support, right, Danny, Holty and his wife and his family, but raise awareness of this bigger issue, right? Because like you said, Helen, you think, a firefighter gets injured, they're all set. Yeah, the state, the unions, they're taken care of. Not really. And I'm just curious, when you say things, what are some of the things, that aren't covered that you really, really need? It's not like you're going out and buying a car. No, you're doing things. You need to get things to be able to live a normal life. So just kind of give us an idea what some of those things that all this fundraising goes to get you.
Right. Well, to be quite honest with you, in regards to a vehicle, so Scott, for the most part, is in a power chair. So, and the thing is that he initially was in a manual wheelchair, right? But
the kind you have to literally push a wheel.
The thing is that he doesn't have grip.
Right.
He only basically has grip on his right hand, and that's it. At times it does cooperate. For the most time it cooperates. There are times where his right hand will lock up and it won't work.
Okay.
And he does not have use of the left hand. So there wasn't a way of him going ahead and rolling himself. He had to rely on others, which when he was at Spalding, he had a power chair and he was able to go ahead and get around himself, which again, the whole, the main goal is to have him be as independent as he can be in a dependent situation.
Right.
So we went ahead and got him a portable power chair that we were able to go ahead and kind of pull down and transport to be able to give him some kind of independence.
Okay.
That initially, insurance had already gone ahead and covered the manual wheelchair. They won't cover both. So we went ahead and did that out of a fundraiser that initially Littleton Fire Department had for him when he first got injured. So a portion of that went to that power chair.
Yeah.
That power chair, after a little bit, did not end up kind of meeting his needs.
Yeah.
And in regards to going ahead and getting a larger power chair, I couldn't take him to appointments or do anything with him one-on-one. We had to go ahead and rely on having at least one of our kids. We have 3 basically grown children, almost grown children, that needed to help us. So our appointments had to be situated around when they were available. And so that was difficult. So when Littleton Fire had the initial fundraiser for him, when he was still in Spalding, that fundraiser raised quite a bit of money,
Okay.
which went ahead and helped us go ahead and purchase a handicapped accessible van for him.
Okay.
Which allowed us to go ahead and end up getting a power chair that was a little bit better for him. And we were able to go ahead and get him to appointments and be able to go ahead and go out even on a lunch date or a dinner date or meet up with friends.
Yeah, you want to have a life, right? You want to be able to go out and enjoy your life. It's not just surviving; it's living a life. Absolutely.
Right. So and those, that was another, going and shopping for the van was another eye-opening experience, because I don't know if anybody has gone ahead and had that experience of having to look for one of those vans, but going and buying a vehicle in itself obviously is not a small expense.
Oh, sure.
Going ahead and having a van that's curtailed for someone that needs, requires a ramp and requires it to be lower to the ground and requires seats to not be in it, and removed, there's an added expense on top of that.
Yeah.
So those vans, we looked at them, they fluctuated anywhere from and used to new, like new was outrageous. But anywhere from $26,000, which had would have a lot of miles on it,
right?
All the way up to over $100,000.
You that, Danny?
For a van?
It's crazy. So we fell kind of right in the middle of that. So not on the lower end, not on the unbelievable higher end, but right in the middle for something that was reliable.
Sure.
And met the needs. But again, that wasn't covered under insurance. That was all due to that fundraiser.
Right.
So thank goodness for that. And then he just in November took delivery of a power chair that's very similar to the one that he had at Spalding, that is much more conducive to what he needs.
Okay.
And part of that was covered under insurance. So that power chair was over $34,000.
Wow, for a chair, Danny.
So
right.
You can get a car with that.
And insurance luckily covered a huge portion of that.
Yeah.
But we still had to pay close to $5,000 towards that.
Right.
So again, it's these expenses that you don't really know when they're going to come into play, how much they're going to be. And again, you're talking about quality of life.
Right.
There's other activities have had to change, normal activities of when you think about just going out for a walk.
Right.
You know what I mean? If going out for a walk with your kids or your friends or that looks different
it's
now.
It's a whole different ball game. Yeah.
Going out and trying to exercise that looks different now. So one of the things that he definitely enjoyed in Spalding was the bike.
The bike, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So good.
It was like a hand cycle type thing.
Okay.
Type thing where you reclined in it. You see them sometimes in the marathons and things like that, where the people with spinal cord injuries are able to use them in different ways, either by pedaling or by the hand cycling or something like that. So that's
by a guide.
Or by a guide. Or you could have, which I went in was somebody in the back, kind of pedaling through where we were going on the sidewalks around Spalding over towards the Zakin Bridge.
Yeah, I've heard Spalding is fantastic, by the way.
Spalding is great. They've been great the whole time, all along, from when I was an inpatient doing therapy to outpatient therapy, which I still continue to this day. They've been fantastic. They're very accommodating, but this has also been an eye-opening experience for things we take granted every day, or things we took for granted every day, was trying to negotiate and get around sidewalks.
Oh yeah.
Like brick pavements, cobblestones. Without the power chair, those are just a nightmare to go over, because they rattle your teeth out.
Oh sure.
But even with the power chair, I found out the limitations of you take for granted a small crack in a sidewalk can absolutely stop a wheelchair in its tracks and get the wheels stuck in the middle of them, which I've done several times on the older chair. So the chair that I have now was very similar to the one I had at Spalding, and it's kind of built like a tank. It's got much larger wheels. It's got rubberized tires, things that will go through that terrain a little bit better, but it's still it's still, you have to be extremely careful of where you're going and the width limitations of some of the sidewalks and trees and things like that in the way.
Yeah,
So the
got to
chair
be designed for
has
that New England terrain.
Oh, yeah.
So the chair he has now weighs 442 pounds without him in it.
Wow. Wow.
So with him in it,
No, we don't need to say what
yeah.
it is
So I'm
with him
just
in it.
saying, with him in it, if he gets stuck
Right.
somewhere, trying to go
Oh.
ahead and push and pull,
Yeah, dislodge or whatever. Yeah.
is a little bit difficult.
Trying to negotiate through crowds.
Yeah.
So that chair will absolutely break feet. So you have to be very careful of where you're going and who's around and where you're turning and things like that. Because even around my family, I have to be careful how I'm turning and who's
Sure.
who's next to me.
Scott, let me ask you this.
Sure.
I'm just curious. Obviously, long time in the fire department, hazmat. I know Dave DiGregorio said, you did some work up at the headquarters in Stowe. You still in touch with those folks? Obviously not in a working capacity, but you still kind of keep in touch with those folks that you're so close to?
Yep, they reach out quite a bit. Dave always checks in on me, or he's always in contact with Helen.
We love Dave.
We love Dave.
Awesome.
Dave's been great. Travis has been great. Like I said, worked with those guys when I was on my days off. When I worked the 24-hour shifts, typically on my days off, I was usually at the office working in the warehouse or in the office making deliveries to the trucks around the state, stuff like that. So there was always something to do. So it was always busy. We're always busy as contractors, as Dave puts it. So
yeah. All right. Very good.
It's
go ahead,
definitely
Helen.
it has definitely gone ahead though and changed as far as relationship, as far as relationships or things like of that nature. It's been difficult for Scott to have this happen and have life change in your career. Never mind just a life change. It's your career, the way that you wanted to or saw it happening is now no longer.
Yeah.
Your day-to-day looks completely different than it did before. So he's still adjusting to that. We're still adjusting to that as a couple. We're still trying to adjust to that as a family. And friends of ours, his coworkers, it's, there unfortunately have been people that have stayed away because it's people just don't know how to
They're
interact.
just not sure.
How do I, and we've shared it before. We'll go ahead and share it again. Anybody that has his telephone number, go ahead and call him. Go ahead and text him. If we're in the midst of an appointment or in the midst of a bad day, he'll get back to you when he's able to. Yeah. But just go ahead and reach out. It's still important to have those relationships.
And actually, I'm glad you brought that up because I wanted to talk quickly, and we're going to wrap up soon. But obviously, fundraisers are one thing we can do. But I'm thinking, maybe get your folks' perspective. What else can people do? Maybe you just don't have the money to donate. That's fine. But at least share and ask other people. What else? And I'm thinking, just if they're your friend, reach out to them, make appointments to go visit them. Just from your perspective, what else can people do beyond just, donating to a fundraiser?
You obviously jump in, whatever. Yeah. I would say it's important, no matter what, regardless of our situation or just in life in general, that the world is a very unpredictable place, right? Sure. You have no idea what's going to be happening from one moment to the next. Nobody does. And I would say that, you can try and plan for tomorrow as much as you can. You have no idea what's going to be happening. Right. So in this moment, go ahead, if you've not spoken to someone or you've not reached out to someone, or you go ahead and make sure that you do that. Yeah. Go ahead and just kind of be there for one another and support one another. And regardless of what has happened, there may be friendships that are no longer, and that's a sad thing. But the ones that you do have and the ones that are very important to you, don't let the stupid stuff get in the way of that. Yeah.
And I'm sure, Scott, it's just as important. You want to hear from those people. You want to talk to those people. And just, again, continue those relationships. Just talk about whatever, right? But
Right, and we've made friends with people that we would have never imagined meeting in years. People in similar situations
Yeah.
because of this, and because of this, it's been an eye-opening experience as far as living from day to day, seeing how things change from day to day, and taking advantage of the good times. And everyone's going to have bad times. Helen is my primary caregiver.
Sure.
She had a full-time job. Now her full-time job is taking care of me and making sure I'm all set, and I need to be where I need to be every day. But we all know somebody in some sort of situation in life that's going through a hard time. And if we can say one thing, is just reach out and keep in touch with those people. We keep in touch with the people that we've had in similar situations and gone through counseling and things like that with first responders, and because everyone kind of has that moment in life where they need to talk to somebody and things like that. So I've been in touch with people that have gone through similar situations as first responders.
Yeah.
And anything in life that somewhere along the lines we've met or we know somebody that's going through a hard time.
Oh, sure.
And that's the biggest thing. Is just keep in touch and just reach out and say, hey, just thinking about you. How you doing today? What's going on? Anything you need, and anything like that. It's something that simple that can make somebody's day.
Right. That's priceless. You can't put a price tag on that.
So it doesn't cost anything. You reach out, send a text, say, hey, thinking about you. Anything you need today? What's going on? Let's meet up at some point, or in anything. And I think that goes a long way.
So I'm gonna just put up. I 100% agree. Again, whether you're friends with Scott and Helen, but just if you know anyone in a similar situation, I know again we have people watching literally all over the world. Just reach out to them and just let them know, hey, you need anything? You want me to stop by, have some lunch, whatever, because that is very valuable. Again, in addition to when you can, just donate. What do you think, Danny? Yeah, anything you want to ask? Just say. No. You want to do the thing before we wrap up? He wants to play.
I'm speechless.
No, he's amazed, but you know what? He wants to play. What is it, Danny?
Can we take a moment, though, right before that?
Oh, yeah, sure. Sorry.
We just kind of wanted to call out a few folks, though, that have gone ahead and
absolutely.
donated.
Yeah, please.
Is that okay?
Absolutely.
All right. So if we can go ahead and thank, and we appreciate, both of us appreciate everybody that has gone ahead and donated.
Sure.
Because it does mean a lot. And like we shared before, different amounts of things. There's been adaptive tools to go ahead and help him eat, and that's not covered under insurance.
Right.
There's things, it's kind of amazing of what is and what is not, and everyday things to go ahead and make your life a little bit easier.
Yeah.
Most of those things are not covered, and they're quite expensive. So we appreciate anybody that goes ahead and donates, because it does go ahead and make his life easier. We've also gone ahead and paid forward with that as well. So, in fact, someone that we know that their parent has MS, did not know of the hand tools that we've gotten to make eating a little bit easier for Scott. We knew that would benefit someone else. We went ahead and purchased that through some of the funds that have been raised for us for someone else to make a difference in someone else's life. So if we're able to go ahead and do that, we want to do that as well. So not only are we the recipients, we're going ahead and trying to share that with other folks.
It's
as
like
well.
you said, pay it forward, right?
We wanted more of that in the future.
Absolutely.
But we want to go ahead and thank Mark and Lori Norman.
That's your mom and dad.
Yep. Again, you are the best, Mr. D. You've been there, like I said, from the very beginning. You continue to be there. You're an unbelievably busy guy, and we appreciate all the time that you take for us. Travis Rebello, again.
Yep.
Bob Lundgren. Dave Ladd, your generosity is amazing. Thank you so much for your donation.
Yep.
Christina Baxter, and last but not least, Mick Donato. We thank you for reaching out. We appreciate both you and Danny, with the show, with going ahead and getting in touch with us, with thinking of us. and we'll keep in touch. We do
absolutely.
we have a physical fundraiser that we're going to be doing in November that we're going to start gearing up for meetings for.
Absolutely.
That's going to be happening locally, so we'd love for you to join us on that.
Absolutely.
So we'll keep you up to date on
I
that.
will
But
say Danny would have donated. Doesn't have a credit card yet, though. The $14 he got for his birthday. Right, Danny?
I got $14 for my birthday.
Yeah, anyways.
Nice.
But no,
From Mick.
to echo Helen, yeah, thank you, everyone you mentioned. And, of course, everyone else who donated. It's been fantastic. What's that sound, Danny?
I don't think it's getting picked up. I think we're fine.
Okay. I got some sound in the background. We don't know. Anyways.
Some good music.
Yeah, I have no idea. No clue. Danny, go check it out real quick.
Okay.
And I'm going to introduce this bit. As you know, we play with all our guests. It's called What's Your Favorite Sandwich? And now it's time for What's Your Favorite Sandwich? With your host, Mick Donato. All right, so how this works, Danny is going to try to guess what both of yours favorite sandwiches, be anything. And I find sometimes people get really specific. They're like, yeah, I like a roast beef sub with mushrooms and onions from Donato's Deli. I'm like, but he's an artist. Going to go to art school someday, and he's working on it now. I will say while he's doing that, what's your favorite sandwich? Of course, brought to you by our great sponsor, SandwichForYou.com. You go to Sandwich For You. They got a whole menu of great hot sandwiches. They deliver it hot and fresh in the patented Sandy Wrap packaging to your door by drone. Right, Danny? Yeah,
Yes.
Cool. So, great sponsor. Outdone there, Danny? What?
No.
You got one of them? Come on, hurry up. And he gets multiple markers. It's crazy. So, what are you doing?
How many L's in Helen?
Just one. He's trying to get a name.
That's okay. It
It's a
happens a
different
lot.
one, so I have to...
So while he's doing that, what do you
Clarify.
folks have planned for the rest of the Saturday?
So Scott has acupuncture this
Acupuncture.
afternoon.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well,
Well-
hopefully that's working for you. Yeah.
Yeah, that's been great. And then the acupuncturist is able to do things with my muscles too, kind of try to keep them freed up and things like that. So it's been pretty good so far. I've been having a really positive reaction from that.
Good.
She's great. Yeah. Found her locally and had the best of luck right now. So right off the bat. So
Yeah.
definitely recommend it if anybody's thinking of it.
Okay. Yeah, check that out. Yeah. How's it doing, Dan?
Almost done.
Almost done. He's getting there. He's got to draw everything. Jeez,
Yeah, I'm really simple, so you can nail this one right off, probably.
our guest Lauren, on the first episode of the month, her favorite sandwich was a salad. So I don't know. So hopefully it's not that
crap.
You got it, Danny? All right.
Right.
All right. Ready? Not yet. All right. Here we go. First, Helen, and then next Scott Holt. So Helen first, Scott next. What is your favorite sandwich?
My favorite sandwich is salami and provolone.
All right. And Lieutenant Scott Holt.
Just a nice bologna sandwich with lettuce and mayo.
All right. Show 'em what you got, Danny.
Okay.
Okay, show 'em what you got.
So for Helen,
They
I
changed it
said
now.
peanut butter jelly.
It's peanut butter and jelly. And you
And-
covered
I
up
do like
Scott.
For Holty, I said the chicken sandwich from Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich.
Oh.
Yeah, with
It's
the
like, I do like that one.
That's
That's a
He likes it, so give it to him.
Yeah,
We'll give it to him. Yeah, close enough.
one.
We like to have some fun, and that's what we do in the show. We do support all those folks in emergency response, but we say, hey, why not have fun for 30, 40 minutes a week? Watch the show. Helen,
Absolutely.
Scott, thank you so much for joining. Any last things you want to say before we go?
Thank you. Just wanted to reiterate that thanks again and for reaching out.
Yeah.
Like I said, every day is a different day for us, and we try to embrace everything full on every day with our kids, with life and everything else. And keeping a positive attitude to this has definitely gotten us through, and wanting to learn everything we can about this and through the contact that we've made. And so things could definitely, we know that things could definitely be worse. So we take advantage of the good times and that. So.
Well, you've got a great outlook, and again, God bless you, and thanks so much for joining. And we'll be in touch. This is not the last we have talked to the Holt family for sure.
Will do. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, take care. Talk to you soon.
All right. You too.
Hey, stop recording.
Goodbye. Oh no! Wait.
Yeah. Danny got worried because he thought it didn't record. It's there.
Okay.
I hope you didn't lose that.
Is it?
Whatever the case, Danny, we got to go. I got to get to a wedding. All right, I got to head to Provincetown and get out of here. As I said, Danny, what are you doing?
The recording's there, right?
It's there.
Okay.
Sure. We hope. They were great, huh?
Oh.
They were
Yes,
great, huh?
that was very great.
They look so good, But yeah, I got to get out of here. I got to go back to my apartment in Swansea. Consuela is there waiting for me. I will say this. She's been in my apartment a couple times. It's never been so clean.
Your apartment?
My apartment, Consuela. She's in the hospitality industry.
Oh.
And wow, so clean. But anyways, I got to go pick her up. And it's like a 2-hour drive out to Provincetown. I got my gift already for Toby and his partner, Sergio. That's his name. So wedding is tonight. I got him 2 big long candlesticks. So that's the gift. That's what they registered for. So
Okay.
I got to head out there. And, of course, the reception at Just the Tip. So I want to say thank you to Helen and Scott for joining. And, of course, thanks to all those who have donated. This is the last show we're going to really promote the campaign. We're going to keep it open, though. We haven't quite hit the goal. So if you haven't yet, go to either mickdonato.com and right on the main page, click donate, done. Or you can go to gofundme.com/F/MDS-Hope and donate there. We're going to keep it open for a while. And, of course, we want to thank all the emergency responders, right, Danny?
Yep.
Who are they?
Fire, hazmat, law enforcement, narcotics, fentanyl off the street, in the military, Navy, Army, Marines, Navy,
Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines.
Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines,
Coast Guard,
and
Border Patrol.
Border Patrol.
Keep those
FBI, CIA, ABC,
illegals really
DoReMi, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, right. Danny, any final thoughts?
3-letter agencies. It's the last. Well, it's not the last day to donate.
Oh no, plenty of time to donate. Yeah.
But this is the last episode that we. It's leap year.
It's leap
That's
year.
crazy.
It's February 29th.
Wow.
So
One-
you had fun
one every
being at
4
the big
years.
boys table. You had fun, yeah.
What? Oh yeah, this is.
Next week
I'm
you're
not
back in
used
the
to.
booth.
Yep.
Folks, thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Take care. This has been the Mick Donato Show.